Hey friends, today I'd like to give you just a little snapshot of a ray of hope, I think, in the otherwise just terrible situation of the war in Ukraine. And as also as part of that, while I realize that life here in Western Pennsylvania is very different from life in Ukraine, but when you're a follower of Jesus, you find that you have a lot in common with people who otherwise are very different from you. About a week and a half ago now, on Sunday the 30th, we had the joy here at East Main of baptizing a 13-year-old young lady named Madison who she loves Jesus, and she was joyfully professing her faith that morning. It was a wonderful time that we had. Well, a couple of days later, I got an email note from our friend in Ukraine, our pastor friend Misha Dubovic. And first he shared a little bit about just a heart-wrenching ministry to moms whose sons have died in the war with Russia. But then he also shared a video from their worship that very same weekend that Madison was baptized that depicted a 13-year-old young lady from their church named Ira from Rivne, Ukraine, who is also professing her faith and being baptized. And I'd like you to take a look at that.
Вірю.
Обіцяєш Богу добру совість.
Обіцяю.
Ти любиш його?
Безумовно.
Все. Ми хрестимо тебе в ім'я Отця, Сина і Святого Духа. Амінь.
Амінь.
Усі, що Христа хрестилися, у Христа зодягнулися.
And as I shared with Madison's mom, I think that the big difference between Madison and Ira is that Ira was a lot colder in her baptism than Madison was. But again, friends, I realize that our lives are very, very different from people in Ukraine. And yet, at the same time, I think Paul's words here in Ephesians 4 hold true for Madison, for Ira, and for all followers of Jesus wherever in the world we may find ourselves. Paul writes this in Ephesians 4. He says, "There is one body and one Spirit, just as you were called to one hope when you were called. One Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is over all and through all and in all."